What's up, fam? It's your boy, Heaven Hollywood, back on IE Network. This is the Heaven Hollywood Report, and let's get to it. Shout out to my sponsor, in case you didn't know. That's ICYDK.blog. Make sure you check them out on all mobile devices in the World Wide Web. Before we get started, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss one video. Let's go. Interesting topics we have today. Let's start it off with DJ Envy and Gunplay. Now, if you don't know, Gunplay was a rapper who was signed to MMG, Rick Ross's label. And as we all know, DJ Envy and Rick Ross has had this ongoing back and forth online and over his radio show. It started out seemingly about Rick Ross and Envy in competition with their car shows. They both put on car shows. So Envy and Ross was taking shots back and forth with each other. And then last week, or late last week, something came out about DJ Envy. Remember, he flips houses on the side. Something came out about Envy and his business partner was exposed by Tony the Closer, I think his name is, on social media. He exposed some sort of scam, allegedly, that DJ Envy was pulling with his business partner. And, Rick Ross went in from there. He linked up with Tony the Closer, and so on and so forth. So now, DJ Envy apparently mentioned something about a GoFundMe that Gunplay may have had. He may have said something, I didn't hear it. He may have said something along the lines of, you need to go take care of your mans who got a GoFundMe, this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? So he probably said something along those lines. Meanwhile, your man got a GoFundMe and you ain't even taking care of him, this, that, and the other. Why should Gunplay need a GoFundMe? Now, we know that Gunplay put out a GoFundMe about, I think it was for his daughter. She had some sort of heart issue. It may have been for treatment or surgery, what have you. But Gunplay addressed DJ Envy about this and threatened to smack him. Right? We're gonna let you hear all the content at the end of the video. Threatened to smack him. Envy came back and said that they had a conversation, but it seems like, first of all, he didn't know his conversation was being recorded. Then Gunplay cut the conversation off after he threatened Envy, but then didn't let everyone know what happened after that they conversated for another 10 minutes. He basically saying Gunplay was clout chasing. So we're going to let you know, we're going to let you comment on that, let you hear that, and y'all let me know down in the comments. Who was right? Was DJ Envy, did he cross the line for mentioning Gunplay? And should Gunplay have recorded Envy and put it out there like, who's telling the truth? Do you think Gunplay, after saying he's going to smack the S out of Envy, that he continued on with the conversation? Let me know down in the comments what you think, whose side you got in this one. Moving on to Joe Budden and Melyssa Ford, the Joe Budden Podcast. Now, I didn't even know this was going on. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really watch Joe Budden Podcast anymore. I particularly used to enjoy Joe more when he was by himself. I enjoyed Joe Budden when he was alone. And just, like how Star does. Star may have people come on, but Star's up there by himself. I always thought Joe had enough personality and enough content and knew enough about the industry that he could pretty much carry a pod by himself. Well, it seems as though maybe he feels as though he can't, because he added, remember at first he added a female, her name escapes me right now, Melyssa, I think her name was Melyssa as well. Then after that didn't work out, he added Rory and Mal, or maybe he added Rory with that girl. She didn't work out, it was Rory and Mal. Then they didn't work out. Then he added Ice and Ish. I guess that wasn't enough, so he just added Flip and Melyssa Ford. Now there's some sort of issue going on. Number one, Melyssa Ford seems as though she can never get any talk time on that pod. She's on a pod with 4 men. Seems like they cut her off. Is it 4 men or 5 men? Because Parts is there. Seems like they cut Melyssa off. She doesn't really get her takes in or what have you. And they added this woman dynamic to a bunch of men, right? So whenever that happens, especially someone as beautiful as known, and then she's Melyssa Ford, and is pretty much known for her sexuality. She was, probably the GOAT if you, depending on who you ask, as far as video models are concerned. Some would say Gloria Velez, some would say, it'll usually be split between Gloria Velez and Melyssa Ford. And you'll get a couple of people say Esther Baxter, Rosa Costa, whatever. But for the most part, she's known as the GOAT as far as video models go. And you add her to 4 men who are all, from what I know, heterosexual men. You're going to get some sexual tension. It's Melyssa Ford. Melyssa Ford is just, she oozes sexuality even when she's not trying to be. It could be the look, something she says, the way she looks, the way she moves her mouth, whatever. It's going to be something. She was on there giving lap dances, a couple of weeks ago to Flip. So something like that's going to happen. Now, apparently, she has been calling Ish, who's the light-skinned dude, her work husband. And at work we do that. People do that in regular life. I had a work wife, I have Perry who follows me and who's been with me from the beginning. She calls herself my live wife. So everybody has not everybody, but a lot of people have work wives and work husbands at their job. So Ish is apparently in a relationship, and he has a child or what have you. And something recently happened where it was, I believe Ish was going to take a drink. He was drinking behind Melyssa Ford or something like that. And then I guess Melyssa made a comment about, he can drink behind me. That's my work husband. Or he knows more what my mouth been or something like that. Those two have been, what I do know, have been flirting very heavily. They've been flirting heavily since Melyssa came aboard. I don't know whether they have any sort of history. I don't believe they do, because Ish is not really in the celebrity world like Melyssa Ford was. I don't really think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't really think Ish had any contact or any access to someone like Melyssa Ford before now. So this seemingly made everyone awkward, they were saying. It made Ish awkward because of what she said that was on the Patreon. So let me know down in the comments exactly what was said. But I can pretty much figure out it was along the lines. It had to be some sort of sexual innuendo. Oh, you can drink behind me. That's my work husband, or hell, he know where my mouth been, or whatever. She probably made some sort of joke like that. And they said it made everybody awkward and everybody uncomfortable. And it was this big thing. Here's my take on this. Listen, men sit up there and make sexual, they make jokes and stuff about Melyssa, right? When Melyssa was on her old podcast, they made jokes about her. When they make sexual jokes, like I said, she was just giving a lap dance like 2 weeks ago. So now that she says something, it makes everybody uncomfortable. Did she cross the line? Because she knows Ish has a one. That's something. If Ish is sitting right up there, he never ever complained about her saying, my work husband, this little thing that they got worked out for online. Maybe it's just for publicity to try to make the pod more interesting or what have you. But my thing is this, man. That's something that Ish needs. If that is making him feel awkward, if Melyssa Ford acting like your. Please let Melyssa Ford act like I'm her work husband. Even if it's make believe, I don't give a damn. I'll take make believe. You gonna tell me Ish is offended by Melyssa Ford saying he's her work husband? Stop it. Stop it. Your significant other, and I've never seen her, your significant other is probably a little insecure about Melyssa Ford because she's probably not as bad as Melyssa Ford. That's probably what it is. His significant other is probably not as bad as Melyssa Ford, and she probably is insecure about it, and he probably didn't want her to hear what Melyssa said. So I'm hearing that Joe is, Flip addressed her and this, that, and third. So let me know down in the comments how you feel about that. If you're on the Joe Budden Patreon, you can let me know exactly what was said, and if I'm close, at least. We'll pick up on this a little later. Moving on to Cardi B, and Cardi B tweeted this out. Sometimes I wish I could just go off and live in a small cottage with my kids and nobody know where I am. Or no one can find me along those lines. You see the tweet right there. And a lot of people after that, "We love you, Cardi" was trending. And everyone was asking me, "Hev, what's going on? What's going on with Cardi B? Why did she tweet that?" Well, I don't live with Cardi B. I'm just a fan of her music, so I'm not so sure exactly why she tweeted that. But I'm, judging from it, I'm going to assume it either had something to do with the pressure for the new music, or maybe she got into a small spat with her husband. I think it's either a record label about her music, she's tired of the fans pressing for music, or maybe she got into something with her husband, because notice she didn't say, "I wish I can go live off in a small cottage with my husband and my children." She said, "my children." So, as far as I'm concerned, my take on that is this. I told everybody that the pressure was going to start building up on Cardi B because the whole industry is starting to shift towards Ice Spice. Even Doja Cat's feeling it. I'm going to do a whole video about that after this one. But you can let me know what you think down in the comments, what that tweet was about, what she was referring to. And I mean, Cardi B, as I said before, she really doesn't feel as though she wants to do music anymore. That's what I'm getting. She's happy with the money she has. Notice she always mentions, "I saved up a lot of money." And she's happy with just being a mom to her children and giving her children everything that they've ever wanted so they don't have to struggle like she did. So I really don't think that she just wants to work with brands or what have you. I really don't think she's into the music anymore. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'll do a video about that after this. But let me know down in the comments what you feel that tweet was about. And finally, Megan Thee Stallion. Now, she was spotted out with, I believe he is a Belgian soccer player. His name is ROMELU LUKAKU. So Megan was spotted out at a wedding with Belgian soccer player ROMELU LUKAKU, fueling rumors that she has broken up with Protestant Fontaine. I've been told y'all they broke up, but that's neither here nor there. On Monday, May 30th, international Milan soccer player Lautaro Martinez got married in Italy. Attendees spotted Megan Thee Stallion at the event with Martinez's teammate ROMELU LUKAKU. It says, then there's also on one video below shows Megan and ROMELU by themselves talking near Lake Como. A second clip circulating the internet shows Megan and ROMELU sitting at a table, sitting side by side while cheering on the newlyweds. Now, fans on social media have been weighing in on Megan reportedly having a new boo. I loved her in Party, but whatever makes her happy, she deserves it, one fan posted. If they're together, this might be the best goal Lukaku has ever scored in his career, someone else posted. She's grown 28-year-old woman and she can't date now. And talking to a man means she's effing him. Man, y'all kill me. Another tweet reads. Here's my take on that. I always believed that Megan Thee Stallion and Partisan Fontaine weren't together anyway. I feel as though they were split up, but she was just hooking up with him because she was so used to him. And she didn't want to sleeping around. She wasn't seeing anybody. So she, of course, when it comes to Valentine's Day and stuff like that, she's gonna hook up with him, right? And because that was her last known boyfriend. I believe 100% that she had been texting back and forth with Travis Kelce. I believe 100% that he flew her to the he chartered a flight and flew her to the Country Music Awards. So I believe she was talking and kicking it with Travis Kelce as well. I believe this soccer player, isn't he under Rock Nation? So I've went to weddings before with someone who was not my significant other. I've taken dates to wedding before. Maybe he was going to date and Rock Nation said, you know what would be good? If Megan goes as his date. Just because someone goes to I'm sure there are plenty of people out there that went to weddings with people as their plus one and they weren't dating them. So I'm going to hold back on this one. Yes, I believe she's not with Partisan anymore. I'm not so sure that she's with this Belgian soccer player. I believe, like I said, there's a chance she could end up dating Travis Kelce exclusively or what have you. I believe she is still kicking it back and forth with him. And just because she showed up at a wedding with this guy, and especially he's under Rock Nation, if I'm let me know in the comments if I'm mistaken. But I believe he's under Rock Nation. And that's always a good look. Hey, go out, let Megan go out to Italy, you know what I mean, with this soccer player, get him linked to him. That could be good publicity for her, especially if he's a new client of Rock Nation. They may have sent her with him for publicity. You never know. That's what you have to look into. So we're going to hold off on making them the new couple. We'll see. We'll see. But I do believe she's not with Partisan anymore. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that theory, that Megan was just sitting with him to go to the wedding. Like I said, I've taken people to weddings before that were not my significant other. So anyway, it's your boy Heaven Hollywood for the IE Network. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with your friends.